I'm really fascinated in what awe and wonder can do for us, and that's why we've been meeting like this. And so, Robin, you want to tell me where you're coming from?
Absolutely. Yes. And I'm glad we keep meeting on these little videos. This is really exciting to me. Hi, everybody. I'm Robyn Houston Bean. I'm the founder of the Sun Will Rise Foundation. The foundation provides peer grief support to people who are bereaved due to substance use causes. And always sitting with the people that have had so many different types of losses related to that. There's so many things we talk about. And how do you go on? What gives you purpose? What makes you get out of bed the next day? And so many times these stories of awe and wonder show up and they've never been able to be shared with the world. So I'm glad you're giving people a platform to talk about these stories.
Thank you. And Robin, with your organization, you're a founder of the Sun Will Rise, and you're also affiliated with other great organizations that have people who have great stories to tell and volunteering to come here and share them. But today it's just us, and we're going to have a great talk. We haven't had one of these one-on-ones with each other in a few months. So here we go. You know what, Robin? I would love to know if you have a small wonder or awe story that you might want to tell us here. I've got a little one too, but I'd love to hear if you have just what's happened recently, maybe.
Yeah, I do. This is not a recent one though. So this happened quite a while ago. And I know they weren't specifically named, but dreams I find can be very full of awe and wonder. You just wake up and you're like, what the heck happened?
And we could call that
And
an epiphany too. That's
epiphany.
like a
Okay.
dreams can bring us to that. Yeah.
All right. So that's where that one fits, right
Mhm.
into that. Um, So for the viewers who don't know, my son Nick passed away in May of 2015 at the age of 20. And a lot of my awe and wonder surrounds him and things that have happened after his death. And it has greatly helped me process my grief and trauma. So this happened to be a dream, and I know some people talk about visitation dreams. They feel very different than just a regular dream that you have and you wake up from. It feels, again, almost unexplainable, like the person was really there with you, that it's not just a fleeting thing, that you actually experienced the like the feeling and the touch and the sound of that person, just like you would in an everyday scenario.
Mhm.
So, this happened to be in the house that we lived in when Nick was alive. In the dream, I opened the front door and Nick was there. And my heart, when I tell you, filled with such joy in seeing him walk through that door. And like I would say, like it was happening in real life, real time. It just felt just so normal and amazing. And he wasn't dead. It was like he was just there with us. And there was no one in the room with me. It was just him and I. And we hugged, and it was just so beautiful. I can feel his arms around me, his hands, like just the way they felt when he was
Oh,
alive. And
mm.
it was just so beautiful. And I said, I've missed you so much. And so I went to turn to the kitchen to tell everybody, like, come quick, Nick is here. Nick came home, and I think that's one of these things. Grievers were always looking like, where did our person go? Where are they? I wish they could just be back here with us. So I had to go I couldn't just stay there with him. I had to share this with the rest of my family. And so they came into the hallway with me. And when I got back there, he was gone. And oh, my heart sunk and I was just devastated. Like he was here and now he's poof, gone again. So I started like, where is he? Where is he? And I do that, in my early grief, like searching, where is my person? But I went into the room where we call it the playroom. It's like a sunroom off to the side, but that's where the kids used to hang out. And it was my first place to look for him. And I looked in the door and I didn't see him, but I saw this green, ratty blanket. It was his blanket, this big blanket that he would, you know, drag from his bed and curl up in and things like that. And it was always kind of just there with him. And I saw it there, but he wasn't there. And I started crying like I had missed my opportunity. I should have stayed with him instead of trying to get other people to go. And the most amazing thing happened in the dream. He was actually lying under the blanket and he lifted the blanket off from over his head and he said, Mom, don't worry. Even when you can't see me, I'm still here.
Mm,
And that was the end of the dream. I woke up and I was changed by that dream because it gave me that message. Like,
mm,
even if I can't see him, he's here with me. Um, I don't have to search for him the way that I did before. And it was a big changeable moment. And I share that with the grievers when dreams get brought up and things like that, because I thought it was just so powerful. And it's never left me because you know, you have a dream and then it kind of fades away, you know.
mhm.
This has stuck with me and it's been years now since I had that dream. And when I tell it, I can still feel his hands. I can still feel the warmth of his body. And it's just an amazing awe and wonder type of dream. And I'm so blessed that I had it. And I sometimes feel bad because other grievers will say, I wish I had a visitation dream. And I said, you know, I hope you do someday too, because it is so amazingly powerful. And yeah, so that's my little story of awe and wonder. And I feel lucky that I've been able to have these throughout my life after Nick has passed.
Right. And it was, a dream beyond your wildest dreams, in the
Absolutely.
sense that even when we're talking about how awe and wonder take you beyond your expectations, this was something so different, though. It was still something new to your whole experience. Just you were ready to take it in, and
Mhm.
yeah, you didn't know it was coming that way.
No,
Mm,
no. And I will say that I do wish I'm like, oh, I want to have another dream like that. It feels almost selfish to feel like that, but because it felt so like it gave me energy to keep going that I want that feeling again. I want to feel his presence again. But I know if I've only have that one visitation dream in my life, it's enough for me because it was so amazing.
my gosh, can just really see. Wow, yeah. My cat once visited me, like kind of like that, and also my grandmother. I've had a couple of visitations too. I would really like to tell a short story about when I was married back in the 1990s. I am no longer married, but at the time, I had found out in the mid 1990s that I wasn't able to have children due to premature ovarian failure. And it was causing a lot of issues around me and my husband. And I won't I won't say anything except it was very painful. I felt a lot of grief. I felt a lot of shame. I felt a lot of guilt. I felt a lot of really hard things. And he was helpless in a lot of ways to completely understand what I was going through also. So we were having a particularly bad day. And I remember this was late in the summer, and we lived in Richmond, Virginia. And we just said, we just got to take a break. Hmm, you know, I didn't walk out or anything. I just said, we need a break. So I took off and went off for about 3 hours to a nearby park that I like to go to by myself. And I think he just stayed around and maybe did some gardening or something in the backyard. Hmm. So, while I was out on this walk by this beautiful river park, I found a lunar butterfly, the shell of one. Anybody ever seen a lunar moth? I mean, not a butterfly, a lunar moth.
I've never
Now,
seen
I'm
that.
from the South, but maybe they're much more common there. They're bluish green. They're these huge moths that look like a butterfly. They're quite beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They're gorgeous, and they have like a lunar, truly a kind of a luminescent shine to them. It's glowing, beautiful wings, but it's a greenish blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was so beautiful. I wanted to save it. And I had like a napkin in my purse, and I just really carefully, I just wanted to save it. I wanted to put it up somewhere Uh,
Mm.
it was, it was just so beautiful. I had a collection of seashells and whatever. I just wanted to put it with my pretty things. So I was very taken when I saw that lunar moth because it was very feminine. It's supposed to mean a lot of feminine, lunar kind of energy. And so, anyway, I found it very symbolic of my sense of femininity.
Yeah.
And I went back home, and lo and behold, my husband seemed to be in a bit better mood. I was in a better mood. And
Mm.
he said, Val, I've got something to show you. I was out in the backyard and I found this gorgeous monarch butterfly. And it was also, the shell of a butterfly. It was a dead butterfly. It was a gorgeous big monarch butterfly. And he showed it to me. I couldn't believe it. I said, well, I found this lunar moth. And I showed him that, and we put them on the counter side by side and just looked at them. I said, when did you find that? He said, right around 2:30 this afternoon. I said, I know exactly when I found the lunar moth. So we had found, the monarch butterfly is a more masculine symbol, and mine's the feminine symbol. So we were just in awe of that. And we both turned to some more spiritual kinds of practices around, it just opened us up spiritually to understanding our predicament better. And it was my opening the door to coming to terms with being infertile and dealing with never being able to have children. It was an opening for me spiritually. So I just want you to know the lunar moth and monarch butterfly synchronicity. What are the chances of
Absolutely.
that happening at the same time?
They're very slim to none, right? So this is what makes that so crazy. And I'm gonna have to Google that because I have never heard of one. And
A
now I'm
lunar moth, yeah, I think they're in the south. I forget sometimes
yeah.
that they're probably not up here, but anyway,
And,
they
and,
may
and
be. Who knows with climate change? I don't know.
I don't think I've ever come across a full butterfly or moth that is just there
They were
too.
in
That
perfect condition, but they had died.
yeah. Wow.
Somehow they had just, I don't know, they still looked intact.
Wow. And that brought you together for a little bit to in some way, some otherworldly way, something from amazement and whatever that might, if that hadn't happened, right? It it might not have had you come closer for a short period of time, right?
Right.
You
But it
might
was
have gone
mostly
completely
opened us to spiritual exploration, and it enriched our marriage in that we were more on a spiritual path with our situation.
Mhm,
And it
mhm,
gave us a different foundation for looking at everything. And I don't mean through a particular religion. I just
mm,
mean we needed to open up our spiritual awareness more in
right,
general,
right,
instead of it just being about, you know, our little world. So
right. That is amazing. And enough so that too that you brought it home and then he mentioned it to you too, right?
yeah,
So that
yeah. Well, as soon as see, I didn't show it to him at first. He's the one who
right.
said, "Val, guess what I found in the backyard?" And he showed
Mhm.
his butterfly first.
Wow.
So he initiated it, and then I went, "Oh my gosh, look what I found!" So
I love these stories.
I love
And
these
just
kinds of things.
I do,
What
I really
I
love
love
it. I
these
love
things
it.
when they happen, and there really are. When we tell our stories, anybody listening to this, I'm hoping that people remember that a lot of times we just forget these.
Mm, mhm,
And it's so great if you can write them down
yeah.
or even take a picture of it, or, something that you will remember and keep in a way your own sacred little memory, because it really does show us there's something,
Mm,
however you want to describe it. It's not all just about our own little bubble of trouble. So
right.
it's not all just about us, and there's often more. But the more I learned about awe and wonder, it also, I think, can help bring humans closer.
Mm. I think so too. And I'm looking forward to next month and the month after that. We have a few things planned out, and I think everybody's going to really enjoy those stories.
That's what we're here for. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Until next time.